Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But inside is so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Let's review.
You!
And me. Season 3.
Bum.
Bum. Yes, that's right. That's right. Greetings, fellow chimichanga enthusiasts. We're back for Christmas in July. And Dragon, this is a very exciting pitch. We're going to be pitching Deadpool Christmas specials. Very fun, very fourth wall breaky, very off the wall. You know what other thing is also off the wall and fourth wall breaky and almost as satisfying as the Deadpool movie was? Almost.
What?
It's the Movie Machine Podcast! That's right, folks. Very similar to what we're doing here. It's what happens when you take four funny people and improv a movie based on a random story generator really, really, really fast from our good friends who brought you Super Academy. Features Kyle Decker, Ben Lifson, and Jacob Gulliver, and a rotating host of others. Check it out at hotchocolatemedia.net. All right, Dragon, we're good to go. We're good to go. So, Deadpool Christmas, I want to kind of make this clear, Dragon. Mine is basically a half-hour Netflix special. I went with the Netflix route because you can do all the swearing you want. You know me. I'm not afraid to swear on air, and you don't like to. I completely understand that. So mine is going to be very uncensored, very balls to the walls in terms of, like, you know, F-bombs and stuff like that. So that's why I am rating it, like, right there in the episode title. It's going to be a very R-rated Deadpool. I'm going to be dropping lots of F-bombs, lots of inappropriate content in mine, just giving you a fair warning. Dragon, anything you want to say about yours in advance?
Well, mine, just imagine mine's uncensored. I won't be able, basically mine's very dirty. I just have to hint at mine. I just can't really explicitly say mine, but just take over. It's just, I assume mine's radar like the movie. I want to say mine's half an hour, but most likely it's like a 40-minute kind of like commercial. I don't know.
What about Netflix?
Ideally, Netflix. I mean, there might be like an FX thing where somehow they technically USA is unrated. So I'm saying
that's true. That's true.
Let's just assume there's some loophole where this could be on Netflix because apparently even Agent Carter is not going to be able to be on Netflix, unfortunately. But regardless, let's just assume this is on Netflix. It's uncensored. It's like, let's say maybe like an hour, 50 minutes to an hour. It's just I'll assume. I don't know how long mine is. We'll see.
Okay, well, mine is definitely a half hour as opposed to an hour. So
in my head, it reads. In my head, it reads like half an hour. It's 3 acts, but that's just in my head. So we'll see how long it actually plays.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Point is, mine's a lot of fun. It's just I put in without getting into a lot because a lot of it kind of addresses itself. It's Deadpool's take on the holidays. I think just how the movie's like Deadpool knowing he's in a movie. It's Deadpool knowing he's in a Christmas special, and it's
of course.
a lot of fun, a lot of seasonal shenanigans. One could say, no, going on another show. And I think it also gets to the core of like it's as much comedy as it is drama with Deadpool. So I think it really kind of gets to the character at its core here.
I have very, very little comedy. So I have very, very little drama. I have a lot of comedy. You're gonna even me out, I think. I just want to give credit where credit's due. I came up with this pitch with the great Jacob Weil, in between Star versus the Forces of Evil vlogs. So Jacob Weil actually came up with a lot of this. He came up with lines and stuff. I had a very loose scenario in my head, and Jacob helped me develop it. So this really is Jacob's pitch as much as it is mine, and I just kind of want to give credit where credit's due. So Dragon, who should go first?
You should go first, real quick before you do this. I want to say also mine. Mine's less line based too. I'm not a really kind of a one-liner guy. I'm more of kind of like a broad gag sort of.
And I'm glad you bring that up because you told me that yesterday, and I made sure to kind of include like gags and kind of like one-liners in mine to kind of even that out as well. So, folks, mine is very much just kind of like off the cuff, like very R-rated, and definitely a lot of one-liners in mine that you're not going to see in Dragons. Definitely a lot of swearing in mine that you're not going to see in Dragons, or is only going to be implied in Dragons. So, all right. So hopefully it evens itself out. Dragon, I'm actually willing to bet that we came up with the same opening. Like, it's almost like a 50-50 coin flip that we came up with the same opening. Does it involve Deadpool sitting by the fire reading us a holiday story?
It's I'll tell you what, it's not the opening, but there's a bit that's very similar in my pitch.
Okay, well, I'm glad it's not the opening, because I was kind of worried that it might be too obvious. But the opening is just like a very Deadpool Christmas, and then it's like, just a cute, like, 1960s.
You did steal my title. You did steal my title. Mine's a very Deadpool Christmas.
I'm sorry. That's what I called Super Academy a very Super Academy Christmas. That's what I call every Christmas special. So, okay, so we have Deadpool. He's on a very big, like over the top red armchair. He's smoking a corncob pipe. He's in his like Ferris Bueller bathrobes. He's reading this very big book that's just titled A Very Deadpool Christmas. And it's kind of like a big over the top kind of like, like those elaborate, those big like Night Before Christmas style books that you see in the movies where it's like huge books. Yeah. Okay, so Deadpool's like, oh, hello. I know, right? I got my own fucking Christmas special. Who knew? And then he kind of just addresses, oh, you might be wondering what I'm smoking. Well, that's not important. It's illegal. Anyways, kids. Uncle Deadpool wants to tell you a Christmas tale. A very fun, very happy, very heartwarming Christmas tale. Now, this Christmas story begins in the very fucking stupid country of Latveria, where a giant asshat called me away right on Christmas Eve. I mean, can you believe that shit? I even dressed up as a present and everything. Or at least part of me was wrapped up in a present. A very sensitive part of me. You get my drift. Anyways, cut to Latveria, where our story begins. And Dragon, that is my very brief cold open. So my setup is that Deadpool is telling a story, reading us a Christmas story, in which Deadpool has been called away to Latveria on Christmas Eve at the request of Dr. Doom, and he's very annoyed by it. Okay.
All right. So let's see. Mine is. Oh boy, I hope you're ready for this. So I'm glad you used I'm glad you used a little bit of Dr. Doom in there because again, rights were a thing I had to dance around some clever ways.
I'm dancing around rights in clever ways, my friend. Just you wait.
Oh, me
dancing
too.
Around rights in clever ways is part of the meat of my story.
Yeah, basically there were a few characters I wanted to use, but I kind of held off on them because
I'm excited now because I think I did some really clever stuff with that. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Point is, I think you and I might have done some similar things.
Oh God.
Anyway, so the special begins with another thing that Fox might be able to get away with rights-wise. We hear some familiar music at the start. We hear a little bit of this.
Careful, because we might not be able to get away with it. Go ahead. I'm just saying, be careful. Aww.
Okay.
All right.
That plays. We know what that's referencing. So basically, we have like a really loving, in a way, it's a very loving reference to Charlie Brown Christmas, where it's Christmas time is here's playing. We see snow falling. Deadpool walks out of his crappy apartment that we saw from the Deadpool movie, but coated in snow. It's all snowing out. He's walking there, and he's walking past ice skating children in the background randomly, and he goes to a wall, and there's a wall where Weasel is dressed just like Linus.
Oh God.
Wearing his brown jacket, which he did wear in the Deadpool movie. He was wearing a green hat. I'm not saying maybe he's wearing a blue shirt, kind of like the blanket, perhaps.
Okay.
So the point is, Weasel's kind of already there waiting by the snowy wall. It's built pretty much to look exactly like the Peanut set. And then Deadpool kind of gets them in the Charlie Brown Linus positions as they were.
Oh God.
And it starts with they acknowledge each other. Oh, hey, Weez, how's it going? Yeah, they really greet each other, and they both kind of acknowledge it. Well, wait, it's Christmas time, and I'm getting such a sense of deja vu. You get that, too, Weez? Yeah, they're both kind of acknowledging the others. I'm getting such a strange sense of deja vu. And then Weasel's asking, "Hey, wait, what's got you down?" And then just Deadpool is just slams his hands down the wall. Okay, that's it. I can't take it anymore. What is it? I can't take this. Just pointing all around. I can't take this. He breaks the fourth wall right off the bat. He says, he walks in front of the wall to us, the audience. He says, this is sad. We're ripping off Christmas classics. No more of this. I'm cutting through the BS this year. If we're doing a holiday special, it's not going to be the same old tired tropes and cliches, and it's a little bit of referential to us, by the way. I'm tired of the same old tropes and cliches. No, It's a Wonderful Pool Life or an Xmas Carol with Cable as the ghost of Christmas future. Mainly
foreshadowing. No,
mainly because him referencing directly. Maybe because we haven't cast him yet.
Oh, God.
It's time to put the X back into Christmas. Put the X back into Xmas. Cue the intro, and the intro is, and this is a little just I can only describe. It's like it's basically the animated. Basically, it's like an animated opening. It's styled after the end credits scene in Deadpool. We have like the Careless Whisper kind of tunes going around, like da 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 da. Remember those guys?
Yeah.
Remember like the Horny Heart, the unicorns, Deadpool, little cartoon version of Deadpool. They're all kind of doing these shenanigans. We see like a snowman with a carrot boner. We see Colossus as a Santa Claus. Again, a cartoon version of it. We see Wolverine as an angry elf. We see,
of course, Wolverine is an angry elf.
We see kind of a Deadpool manger of some kind. Deadpool's the baby, and everyone's up there. We get a little bit of Negasonic Teenage Warhead on the side there. We have basically the ending of it is like bullets like being fired by Deadpool, like, and basically the bullets transition into snow on like kind of the red background, and it ends on kind of a Christmas sweater looking image, and that's the opening.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So after our cold open where Deadpool introduces us to the fact that he's reading this I want to keep in mind, Deadpool is reading a story that he probably wrote himself. So anything could happen in this. Okay. So opens in Latveria. Latveria is all decked out in statues of Dr. Doom wearing Santa hats, pictures of Dr. Doom in Santa hats. It's Doomsmas in Latveria. And guess who I cast is Dr. Doom, Dragon? Hello? You there?
Who would you cast?
Oh, boy. I am not sure how you're going to feel.
Is it Mads Mikkelsen? Because I'd love that.
It's not Mads Mikkelsen. No, it's not.
Who'd you cast?
I think you're going to be very disappointed, actually.
Who is it?
Deadpool! I call you here to get rid of a bitter enemy of mine. I am Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Real quick, I just want to tell you that I actually heard of a casting thing that was considered back in the day at Marvel that actually would have been pretty. I'm not saying it trumps Alfred Molina, but for Doc Ock, Arnold Schwarzenegger was considered for Doc Ock at one point. So he wouldn't have been bad.
I cast Arnold Schwarzenegger in a very elaborate one-scene cameo as Dr. Doom. I want to keep in mind, like, the whole thing isn't canon, so any casting or anything like that that's going to come later in the Fox universe or whatever the hell they set up, it's all non-canon. So we can do whatever the hell we want in terms of casting. I just want to keep that in mind. So Dr. Doom, Schwarzenegger, he's in like this ugly, over-the-top Christmas sweater. Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Colossus are just kind of watching this off to the side. They're basically Deadpool's babysitters after the first movie. Deadpool's basically allowed to roam free, but Professor X basically hires them to just keep an eye on Deadpool. And it's just kind of like a reluctant, like, well, fuck, all right, I guess I can't get rid of you guys, whatever. Anyway, so Deadpool is just very, very, very peeved with Von Doom. Like I said, he's kind of like, Von Doom, you had no idea. Like, I had my dingling wrapped in Christmas wrapping paper, Von Doom. Come on. You have no idea how well Vanessa was going to take that. That was kinky as hell, Von Doom, and you ruined it. You ruined it. And Von Doom's like, I apologize, Deadpool, but we have an enemy to contend to, a common enemy. Now, I am the richest man in Latveria, but this man's fame and wealth and fortune. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a good Schwarzenegger at all. So, basically, he wants to target a Mr. O.
Mr. O?
Mr. O.
Oh no, I think I know where this is going.
Mr. O.
If it's the O I'm thinking of.
It's the O you're thinking of, I assure you.
God. Alright, Dargan Mr.
So,
O.
Dr. Doom, because he's threatened by Mr. O being the biggest billionaire in the Marvel universe.
I know who it is.
You know who it is. You know who it is. He's very threatened by Mr. O, and he's hiring Deadpool to take care of Mr. O. So Deadpool very reluctantly agrees. He's like, and I assure you, Deadpool. I assure you, Deadpool. I will pay you handsomely. So basically, I am the king of Latveria. Anything you want is yours. I'm sorry, I'm very much not doing a good Schwarzenegger. Okay, but and so then Deadpool turns to Von Doom and mentions, oh, and by the way, thanks, Von Doom. You cost us our entire celebrity cameo budget. Thanks a fucking lot. And you know what? It's a Christmas special, and we have to have celebrity cameos. So there goes our fight budget. Guess what? No fights in this special whatsoever. No action kitties. Sorry. Bye-bye. Mr. Schwarzenegger blew that budget. And thus kitties began one of the most fucked up Christmases ever. Okay.
By the way, I'm operating off the idea that the budget's pretty in good hands now. They have a lot more faith in Deadpool, so I mean, might have some expensive things in it.
My whole thing. Yeah, I understand that with you. My whole thing is I'm making it a gag that there's no action in this. Like it's kind of a gag.
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to I clarify. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, cool. Okay. So then, Colossus, Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, and Deadpool are in the helicopter getting transported from Latveria back to New York City. Negasonic is basically the Scrooge of the special because she's just kind of moping around the whole episode, and Deadpool's calling her on it. It's like, hey, look, come on, Scrooge, come on, lighten up, it's Christmas, huh? And Negasonic, every time he addresses her, she just kind of rubs it off. She's like, look, I don't want to be here. All right.
Look, I'm a teenage girl. I'd rather be anywhere but here. Sorry, I'm quoting the movie.
No, you're right. It basically goes like that. And then Colossus is like, well, Deadpool, as long as you do not kill anybody, then we will accompany you on your mission. And then Deadpool's like, oh, sure, Colossus. I promise not to kill anybody.
Fingers crossed. Fingers are crossed behind his back or something.
No, he does a pinky square with Colossus, but Colossus crushes his pinky. And it's like, on second thought, no pinky square. And then he's like, you take the fun out of everything, Colossus. You know that, Mr. Buzzkill Metal Balls? Okay.
Silver balls.
By the way, Jacob takes full credit for Mr. Buzzkill Metal Balls. Okay, so Colossus is kind of laying out Mr. O. No, Mr. O. No, I'm sorry. Deadpool's explaining it. He's explaining it to Negasonic and Colossus. Mr. O. Now, we can't say his name because of legal reasons. Hint, Sony, hint. But we need to break into his mansion and give him a holly jolly Christmas he'll never forget. Colossus, because that's what you want to do, right? You want to give him a Merry Christmas? Oh yes, Deadpool, that sounds delightful.
It'd be great if you just kind of describe what does he look like. Well, he has kind of like a weird spongy looking head thing. It's like two kind of hairs that meet each other in the end. Has this weird kind of lumpy like speed bump hair.
Right. Okay, so before they get on their mission, Colossus has an urgent matter he needs to attend to. He needs to deliver Professor X's Christmas present.
Oh, gosh.
And his Christmas present is a big kind of like cardboard Christmas card that's hand-drawn by Colossus that just says, Merry Christmas, Professor X.
Wait, but that's urgent?
Yes, it's that urgent.
I don't know, T. For Colossus, don't wrong. I know he's a Boy Scout, but even he has his priorities in line.
Professor X needs to get Christmas present on Christmas Eve, Dragon. There is no excuse for this.
I don't know.
Besides, look at it this way. Colossus is reluctant to go on this mission anyways. He probably knows that Deadpool's fucking with him when it comes to not killing Mr. O. So basically, he's kind of looking for an excuse to get away from the mission, kind of.
All right. I'll give it a pass for now.
Holiday pass. Yay.
For now.
Okay. So his card is just like a big cardboard, like "Merry Christmas, Professor X" from Colossus, and it's hand drawn with crayon, and it looks really sloppy because, Colossus, like, every time he tries to crayon, a crayon just crumbles in his hand, so he basically has to take the crumbles and, like, draw over it. So it looks very sloppy, but it's the thought that counts. So they arrive at the Professor X mansion, just like the one from the Deadpool movie, and lo and behold, alas, Deadpool wasn't kidding, because they needed the budget for the celebrity cameos. Because we see not only James McAvoy, but also Patrick Stewart.
Why do we see both of them?
Oh, you'll see. Keep in mind, this is a story that Deadpool is reading us. Anything can happen. There's not really a need for logic. So Stewart and McAvoy are on the porch. They're playing chess very casually with each other. Just, it's not like there's some big like Days of Future Past situation going on. They're just very casual with each other. And Deadpool just looks at the camera. He's like, "Oh, come on! You've got to be fucking kidding me! Fox, make up your mind!" And then Colossus is just like, "Oh no, Deadpool, this is nothing. Wolverine is just messing with Time Stream again." And then McAvoy just casually nods, "Yeah, that's what it is." And then Patrick Stewart's like way too into the game that he doesn't even acknowledge Deadpool. He's just like, "I'm focusing."
I think it'd be better if it was both of them still, but I'm saying they morph from one to another each time. It's just so inconsistent. Come on, Fox, make up your mind.
What if it's that way, but they're still playing chess with each other, so they morph from one side of the chessboard to the other?
I mean, they're playing chess with each other?
Yeah.
Well, wait, what about Magneto? Is he there playing chess, or is it because of the
No,
X-Men?
Magneto's not there.
Yeah, kind of a buy, but, I mean, okay. I'm saying two of them there at the same time, and I'd buy it if it was like they keep, why did I move here? Why did I make this move?
I guess so. I don't know. Well,
they're saying two of the same guy at once when there's timelines involved, Tiki. I mean,
it's a gag. It's a gag. Oh, you're not going to like some of this. I know you're not going to like some of this. Okay, well... Anyways, before they stop off, Deadpool is like, "Okay, you know what, Colossus? If you get to deliver presents to your loved ones, I get to deliver presents to my loved ones." Then we do a smash cut to Blind Al just snorting down the biggest line of cocaine she's ever seen in her life.
Who gave her the cocaine?
Deadpool, of course.
Well, I know that, but was that his Christmas present too?
Yes, that was his Christmas present, yes.
Making sure. Go on.
Yes. And then so Blind Al's, like I said, it's just a very quick, hard cut, like, I need to deliver Christmas presents to my loved ones. And then cut to, like, like a Mr. Robot style, like, like shot of, like, the line and Blind Al, like, sniffing it down.
Daydream.
Blind Al's like, "Oh, yeah, that is why I love cocaine."
God, I love cocaine.
Oh, by the way, did you ever find the cure for blindness, Al? Go to hell. Oh, gee, that's the thanks I get for giving you the purest coke you've ever experienced in your life. You're welcome. And thus ends Act 1.
No one appreciates a white Christmas anymore.
Right. All right. I know there's some buys in Mind Dragon. I totally realize that. Look, I'm playing it more for fun and more just kind of like, Deadpool. It's basically Deadpool writing his own Christmas fanfic. That's the way you have to look at it.
All right. I'm saying I'll buy Doctor Doom, and as silly as it is, I'll buy that. Buy the Christmas card, I guess. But I mean, come on, two Xaviers.
It's the two Xaviers that I'm specifically just making a gag about Deadpool being annoyed that there's two Xaviers to begin with, and then he shows up and both Xaviers are there, and he's like, "Fucking A, man! Come on, Fox! Now there's both of them in the same scene." It's specifically a gag calling out the line in the first movie, which is one of the funniest and most quoted lines in the first movie. All right?
Yeah, I'm saying, like, you're having play chess against each other, and it's like there's
Why
two
is
of
it
them.
having the? It's because they're just doing something casual and just hanging out with each other. That's the gag.
Well, okay, man. I mean, if it's Deadpool, if it's Deadpool's fan
Would
fiction,
you feel better if they were just kind of casually chatting on the porch and not playing chess?
No. I mean, I'm just trying to wrap my head around this being two exhibitors. I mean, I guess if it's kind of Deadpool's unreliable narrator. I guess. I mean,
it is Deadpool's unreliable narrator. It's totally Deadpool's unreliable narrator.
All right, I think okay. With that in mind, I guess I could kind of give it a pass because,
like I said, the whole point of this special is it's Deadpool writing his own Christmas fanfic.
Well, given Deadpool's kind of crazy, I guess that makes sense that there would be very many inconsistencies. Arnold Schwarzenegger's Dr. Doom and a whole Colossus.
That's what I'm saying. And just you wait until you see what I do with Stan Lee. I think I'm gonna just murder you with what I do with Stan Lee. I think you're gonna love it. Anyways.
I think I'll give you a buy on most of that stuff, given that it's an unreliable. Basically, it's a pool of vision from Deadpool literature.
That's exactly what it is. It's Deadpool writing his own Christmas fanfic. That is like the pitch in like one sentence.
All right, I guess I can give some of that a pass. All right,
okay.
So, all right, my Act 1. Act 1, basically transition from that sweater image to Deadpool wearing that sweater, sitting in the chair from the marketing, from that really fancy chair he does the trailer voice. And basically, it's we have the reveal of him in the chair. It's like kind of that classic again. Basically, the whole premise of my thing is Deadpool making fun of the Christmas tropes and kind of taking the whole different angles. So he's holding "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." There's a giant fireplace behind him. He tosses it right in the fireplace.
Oh God.
It's the minute the camera says, "Oh, hello there," he gets up and basically what he's doing is he's it's some dialogue and clips here as he's taking off the sweater. He's making his way outside. It's like a walk and talk. We get a few cuts to keep it interesting during this. So basically, Deadpool exposits along the way here. He's walking somewhere we don't know where quite yet. So he removes his sweater, he suits up, and he walks out. He says, "Deadpool enjoys Christmas." Says, "I enjoy Christmas. Look at my marketing campaign, for crying out! I love Christmas." However, the last two really sucked balls and not in the fun way. And he says, and basically, let's recap because that was one of my favorite bits in the movie. He says, let's recap things. Basically, we see kind of via clips. Basically, this is a way of summarizing the movie for anyone who hasn't seen it. It's summarizing the movie in a few quick clips here, just saying it. But also, it's story relevance. Here's why. It reestablishes things that are going to be very pertinent in the story. Basically, after a montage of Deadpool says, we see some clips of what he's describing. After a montage of holiday sexiness and loving the girl of my dreams, got cancer diagnosis. That's Christmas number 1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, all of this I should mention is set to this song. All of basically what we're seeing is kind of this is playing in the background. Yeah, you get the point. So basically, as that kind of really happy, kind of cheery Nat King Cole "Deck the Halls" is playing. Basically, as that's playing again, Deadpool's just basically recapping the last 2 Christmases, which sucked balls. He's saying, after a montage of holiday sexiness, cancer diagnosis, loving the girl of my dreams, which led to round-the-clock torture. Again, this is where the Deck the Halls really kicks in. It was like the happiest music to the most horrifying things we've seen being tortured from the Deadpool movie. Around-the-clock torture by this British a-hole and this thunder catch you next Tuesday. Quoting the line from Blade.
Right.
In reference to Angel Dust, it's going to be important things to this British a-hole and this lady here, and Christmas number 2 was spent looking for him, leaving me pissed off and missing Vanessa. And if you learned anything from Netflix, you don't come between a man and his Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Exactly. A little bit of Daredevil reference in there.
Oh, I like that.
And we see just as he's kind of going. Then we see as he's going through this, we then see him. There's after the come between a man and his Vanessa. He says we see him Ajax's defeat. Basically, clips from the 3rd act of the last movie where which he learned the hard way. You don't come between a man and his Vanessa, which he learned the hard way. Big explosion, Bob, quick, really quick clips of the Negasonic DH words, big budget blowing explosion. We see a quick clip of just Bob, little cameo of Bob from the other one. 4 or 5 moments, blah, blah, blah. The Colossus speech, screw the brain hole. We see the hole in, we don't see him screwing the brain hole, but just to kind of recap the whole, he doesn't say screw the brain hole, you know what I mean. Screw the brain hole in reference, he just shot Ajax and Ed, recapping that guy's dead, happily ever after. All that's at the deck the holes. Which is why, for once, things are going pretty well. Got the girl, killed the guy who did this to me, a little recap of Boo, he lifts the mask up, Boo, puts it back down. And, so I'm sorry, let me say it again, it's not really exposed. He says, got the girl, killed the guy who did this to me, Boo, and made a killing at the box office. Okay. So why not make this a Merry Christmas? I'm thinking about your camera.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
So, why not make this a Merry Christmas? And before we get things started here, here's a heads up. Basically a heads up. This adventure. Think of this adventure as. Think of this adventure as out of continuity. So. Basically, what he's doing here, he's addressing the fact that this is out of continuity. Because again, I don't know what's in Deadpool 2. I don't know how much this. Some of this might actually be covered in Deadpool 2. So I basically wanted to say this is out of continuity. Basically, take what you like from it. And basically, don't fan gripe with that. So basically,
quote Uncle Grandpa from the Steven Universe episode. Don't worry, kid. None of this is canon.
Yeah, so basically, that's what kind of Deadpool's referencing here in the fourth wall. I just thought it was kind of a fun catch-all, so in case anyone's like, well, they had this character, and then this in Deadpool 2, it didn't do it, it doesn't connect anything. Like, we don't, again, I had Dupinder in this, and I think Dupinder might actually be in prison in Deadpool 2, so I wanted him in here. So.
Right.
Again, I don't know how Dupinder gets out of that situation, so I put him in this, so that's my cover for that. It's like, it's basically saying, just think, well, hey kiddies, think of this adventure as out of continuity. So if things don't entirely match up to what's in Deadpool 2, don't be a D-bag. And basically in DP2, don't be a D-bag and gripe about it. Think of it like the green flashlight. Like he's a little parody of Green Lantern. Green flashlight. Can't say Green Lantern. Or the Star Wars Holiday Special, which I think they might be able to get away with saying that.
Maybe.
Well, remember they mentioned Star Wars, and I remember they got away with it.
That's true.
So I think you can mention Star Wars. Just showing Star Wars might be kind of the straw that breaks the camel's back. Point is, think of it like the Star Wars holidays, like Green Flashlight or the Star Wars Holiday Special, only better. And with guest stars, we had to tweak to avoid rights issues. Now, before the man in the red suit, pointing to himself, can spread Christmas cheer, he has to make money. He has to make money to spend money, which leads to Deadpool. After all this kind of walk and talk, he's led to Sister Mary Margaret's, the Hell House, the place where the Mercs hang out for the bar. Decorated for Christmas, Booth and Buck, their arm wrestling, the fat Gandalf and the black guy. We see a little cameo of some Deadpool fan favorites from the Joe Keller, only CF's in the back, big old fat guy, who's like kind of almost impervious. And we also, there's a big hint. T-Ray is in shadow. He's one of Deadpool's arch enemies. He hangs out there in the comics. He's not in the specialist one. That he's like in shadow, so you don't see him because they haven't cast him. Mm-hmm. Just basically you can make out the silhouette. That, oh my god, T-Ray's in the back there. How cool! And let's see. So anyway, so basically what Weasel does here's a nice little world building here. Weasel. The idea is Weasel. Sorry. The idea here is that Weasel he gives Deadpool some Christmas work around the holidays to make some extra cash for spending and stuff. Mm-hmm. And in return, he gets an invite to the Christmas party that Wade's holding this year. Also, he gets some good gun business. Basically, any guns Wade needs, he's going to come to him. So that's the idea. It's like a nice little kind of it gives Weasel some cash on the side. It also gives Deadpool life. Basically, Weasel saves the worst scumbags of the whole bunch. He saves a whole bunch of those for the end of the year where Deadpool's going to need shopping money around Christmas time. You get it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I'll make sure. So then we get an awesome Merc montage of holiday death set to this. And you got to remember, set this and remember, Deadpool is kind of the pseudo Santa Claus of the special. He's not the Scrooge. He's kind of the Santa Claus, man in the red suit. Get it? So set a little bit to this. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Better watch out.
Oh God.
Better not fall. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming,
So basically, as that plays, and the idea also is that Deadpool he wants to be very kind of original with the Christmas special, yet during any really ostensibly Deadpool moments that are really original, you have really kind of classic overused Christmas songs playing. It's kind of like, get it?
Yeah.
So basically, as it's happening, basically we see a lot of holiday-themed deaths. Basically Deadpool killing people with holiday implements. So
Okay.
as this happy, really kind of classic kind of Christmas songs playing, we see all this horrific, I mean, really violent and horrific R-rated stuff going on here. Basically, what Deadpool's doing, he's killing people with he's strangling a guy with Christmas lights, really violently. We have he stuck a candy cane in a guy's eye. We see he's beating a man to death with a fruitcake and shoving the remainders down his throat. We see a man, he takes a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, literally like the little ones you can buy at the store. He shoves. It's basically, you see him kind of a man with his pants pulled down halfway, and basically you see the guy's reaction,
Yeah.
He sticks the Christmas bulb in the guy's mouth while he's doing it.
Okay.
So basically, all of that sets like Santa Claus is coming. It's Deadpool making his rounds.
Nice.
And also, by the way, it's also intercut with little jingly bells of the gold cards. Remember when the gold cards are their gold cards are used? Basically, you kill your market, give Weasel a gold card, he gives you cash in return. And there was a deleted scene. I'm not going to bore you with all the details. Point is, there's a deleted scene of the Deadpool DVD. Where basically, originally you saw Deadpool kind of doing his mercenary thing instead of hunting for Francis, and that was the sequence you saw in the movie, where you saw him. He was just doing that to make a living, and the gold cards are really used a lot in that scene. It was Deadpool, that's what this whole scene's inspired by. So basically, the gold cards are falling and jingling like jingle bells, din, 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 as that whole song's going on. It's like a little musical accentuation, and we see Deadpool checking all the names off his naughty list. It's a great line from the Deadpool movie. Why the fancy red suit, Mr. Poole? That's because it's Christmas Day, Dupinder. And I'm after someone on my naughty list.
Oh yeah, Deadpool's got to have a naughty list.
He also has a nice list, which you'll see in a moment. But
okay.
See. So we see quickly Deadpool's going Christmas shopping in full costume. Again, they kind of shoot the, no pun intended, shoot the cliche of the crowded, hectic stores of people fighting over everything. Deadpool just walks in there real casually. He's just doing normal Christmas shopping. Very calm, very mundane. And everyone's on mad rush. He pulls out one of his guns and shoots it at the roof. He basically tells everyone, yells at everyone like they're holding him hostage or something. He says, "Hey, everyone, chill out!" Basically tells everyone to calm the bleep down. Everyone he just tells them, and then he pleasantly asks the clerk who's checking him out, "Hey, do you know if there's a good fudge place around here anywhere?" So he visits Blind Al, who's decorating horribly.
Oh, God.
Probably per Deadpool's range. And living conditions wise, I figured Deadpool still lives in his apartment. He visits Vanessa on a regular basis. That's my guess.
Okay.
Maybe it's he goes back and forth. He just has two places. It's fine. He keeps all his guns at Blind Al's place. So he might as well. It's a business place versus his lovey-dovey place. So. Anyway, so he's visiting Blind Al around the house because Al's still his best pal. We see there are tons of broken ornaments and basically the construction paper chains, they're all a mess. She's basically the idea is they're having a very small Christmas party, again, kind of nipping the other trope in the butt. It's not a big old Christmas party. Everyone's inviting themselves. So it's a very simple event. It's Vanessa, Wade, Al, Weasel, and just the four of those guys at a Christmas party. Real small Christmas gathering. She's preparing for that party, a little setup for the third act. She tells Wade is gripe, and they're giving her no slack whatsoever, saying, "Hey, don't slack off," or no Christmas gift.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so let's just see. So, all right. Anyway, so that's a little quick scene with Blind Al. Just drop by, say hello, and just remind her about the Christmas party. And then we got to our next scene. Next scene is by the way, just so you know, the first actually the only long one I got here. The rest will go by real quick. This is almost towards an end anyway. So
all of mine will go by quick, I assure you.
Anyway, so Wade, the trail on, folks. You just I was in a rush to get this one just perfect. So just filtered through it. So anyway, so he's welcomed by the loving Vanessa. It's nice. They got a real good dynamic going. We can just assume, this is about 8 months since the Deadpool movie. They've probably gotten really close. All lovey-dovey. And basically what they're doing here is really cutesy, and the two are very happy to be together because I love the romantic dynamic between those two. It's really nice, and basically Deadpool's building up the Star Wars holiday special because he loves watching it around the holidays because of B. Arthur.
Oh God! Of course.
And again, ideal world, I assume if there's anything that they'd be able to clear, they would be able to clear the holiday special.
Just
but
the B. Arthur song. Just the B. Arthur song.
What I'm saying, let's just
say whatever you want. Pay whatever you need to have the B. Arthur song in there.
Well, here's the thing. I think regardless, you're going to be able to hear it. I'm just saying, ideally, later on, we'll be able to see it as well as hear it.
Oh,
so,
my God.
Regardless, we will have that scene in the special, but we'll get there.
Do you have the audio for it?
I don't have the audio for it.
Oh.
Well, if you stall, I'll get it, all right?
Well, can you
when
get
we
it
get
while,
there? When you yes, I'll do it while you're doing your thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyway, the point is, so we got to build up for the holiday special here. But the idea too is like Deadpool, the two of them are real cute. So they're watching all the Golden Girls Christmas specials.
Yes, foreshadowing perhaps.
Yeah, basically, like, Vanessa saying, I don't understand your attraction to Golden Girls. Oh my God, we have to watch the Arthur. I mean, especially around Christmas time. I mean, I've saved the creme de la creme for Christmas Eve, Vanessa. We got to watch the holidays. And she loves him regardless, so she's all for it. But at the same time, she wants to kind of distract her man here by, she's like a little reminder of like, don't forget the small Christmas party. It's gonna be you. Vanessa's just gonna be you, me, Weasel, and Al around Christmas time. And Vanessa kind of whispers in his ear, "Hey, you want to have a snowballing fight?" Of course, if anyone's seen Clerks, you know what that's in reference to.
Oh yeah.
So basically, you want to have a snowballing fight. Well, it's a lot better than Frosting the Snowman. So basically, to this next bit here, we then see them kind of getting intimate in the bedroom, and it goes really well to this song as they get intimate. Basically, I'll describe the intimacy in just one little second here. Basically, Marshmallow World is playing during this whole thing. How appropriate, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a marshmallow world in the winter when the snow comes to cover the ground. It's time for play. It's a whipped cream day. A whipped cream the whole year round.
You get the point. Whipped cream day. You get a sense why it's appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what's happening in this scene is Wade is eating. He's all just to show. She's perfectly fine with him outside of the costumes. He's all scarred up and he's all geared up for action. Basically, he's eating a snowball with one hand. Vanessa's going down. She's going down south, implying if she's loading up, so to speak. She's getting ready for the idea is they're going to have a fight. And basically, Wade will probably have a line beforehand saying, or at least maybe quickly
Is she unwrapping her Christmas present like in mine?
No, but you're gonna love her Christmas present though.
Okay.
My point is, but Wade, what he says, like quickly, he has a line to the camera saying, "This comes at the very tail end of the act." By the way, so like this scene, there's like a button on the end. That's the end. Anyway, so basically, Wade, he's saying like, believe me, folks, this is a snowball fight where no one wants to get hit. The idea is they're gonna be loading up and then you trying to hit each other with it. Anyway, so basically, Vanessa's going down as Wade's eating the snowball with one hand, and then not that snow, he's eating like an ice snowball. And then Wade does the same. He then loads up. Then they exchange the snowball, and then he's loading up. And as that's happening, we then cut outside. We cut the snow for this next scene. Basically, the implication is they were trying to hit each other.
Oh God.
It's the idea, folks. It just boils down. It's the idea of a snowballing fight. I was watching Clerks recently. I always had that idea. I watched Clerks really early. No. I watched Clerks early July, and I was that line, the whole snowballing thing. Oh my God, yeah, we could use that for Deadpool.
It stuck with you. Oh no. Oh. Okay. That's more disgusting than anything I have in mind. But I applaud you, sir. I applaud you for going there.
Well, again, Tiki, I referenced Frosting the Snowman because I thought that was going too far. Frosting the Snowman. That's
oh God. Too far. Okay, I applaud you, sir. I applaud you.
But still, what do you think? You think snowballing's funny? Does it work?
Yes, yes. I like it. I mean, it's gross.
You don't see it. Yeah, it's the implication. It's like snowballing and the idea they're both. I mean, you can see they're both going down south, and they're getting. They're full of something right now. And they're about it. Mentioning it's a snowball fight. You don't want to get hit by. It's a snowball. You don't want to get hit by. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, right?
Oh God. I love it, honestly.
Yeah, it's snow. It's like the snow from the food snowball mixed with an aftermath. So it's kind of an icy treat.
Oh God.
Plus, you know, again, they're probably making out during it, which they're kind of building the snowball up even further.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
It's all implied there. You get it. You get the implication reads, though, right?
Yes.
Making sure. Anyway, so we don't see any of that grossness go on. So basically we just see like snow on the ground, which gives us to our last scene before the end of Act 1, which is you know, Wade kind of and like an inner monologue saying, "How could things be better than this?" Again, that gross thing going on. How could things be better than this? And then we see kind of our dangerous Act 1 ender. Here's that Angel Dust is in prison. She is alive at the end of Deadpool. Angel Dust is getting visited in prison by like a high security person, something by an old man with a mustache.
Okay.
This old man is asking if is Wade Wilson alive? Basically asking, you know, Angel Dust. Yes, I heard about what happened at the junkyard. Tell me something. Is Wade Wilson? Is it true what they say? Is he alive? And you know, she confirms, yes, he's calling himself Deadpool now. Wears like a goofy red mask, red and black costume now. And then we see the man is filled with fear. He's filled with fear. He's like shaking, like a ghost from his past has now come back to haunt him. He leaves the facility. He pulls out his cell phone. He calls someone over to him and says, "I need a job done. Have you heard of a mercenary by the name of Deadpool?" And then that's the end of Act 1.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, so don't ask me stuff there, because I'm going to be in the middle of stuff.
Okay, I won't. Okay. So next up on my Act 2, we have Deadpool, Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, and Colossus about to go into the strip club. But first, Deadpool has an idea. You know, they need to look inconspicuous when they go into. They can't just be wandering in, you know, a freak with a mask, a giant metal guy, and freaking Ripley from Alien 3. They can't be just wandering like that. So what they need to do is they need to go in to the Christmas sweater shop that's right next door to the strip club. And so they come out with over-the-top, ugly Christmas sweaters. And so just picture Deadpool, Colossus, and Negasonic Teenage Warhead at the bar of a strip club in just over-the-top, ugly Christmas sweaters. There's the gag there. So Colossus is very uncomfortable. He's like, "Deadpool, I do not like this place. These women are exposing themselves. It makes me uncomfortable." Ask Colossus, if you feel uncomfortable, just go out and back. Come on. And speaking of going into a back room, he sees Vanessa, who kind of, you know, just whistles him into a private stall in the strip club. Negasonic Teenage Warhead, meanwhile, is just kind of like, you know, classic Negasonic Teenage Warhead, just texting on her phone, not giving a shit. Typical. Anyways, so we have Vanessa and Deadpool in their private booth. There's a ton of mistletoe hung around everywhere, just a ton of mistletoe. And Deadpool is just like, "Oh boy, I'm about to have myself a Merry Christmas, aren't I?" And so they're about to get hot and heavy. You know, she's taking off the mask. They're making out, and then Deadpool's just like, "Okay, I'm gonna pause this shit right now. If there's any kids in the audience, cover their eyes." After all, we got so many fucking complaints about the sex montage from the first movie. We still want to go for an R, but you know, just for violence and bloodshed instead. I mean, we just given the nature of the complaints, I think we can censor this out. All right, guys? All right? Oh, and by the way, parents, that R rating, it means something. Just saying. There's a reason why we had a Red Band trailer. All right? All right, cool. And then we see just a stereotypical kind of like 1950s public service announcement title card where it shows Deadpool just riding a donkey, and the title card says, "Inappropriate conduct in progress. We will return to your normally scheduled content soon." And then there's just like elevator music, like da 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 da. So basically, Deadpool is self-censoring himself with the sexuality because he knows that stupid parents might be letting their kids watch this shit anyways, and he's explicitly calling out said stupid parents. All right. So back to the strip club. We have Weasel, and Weasel is just sitting at the bar, and he's got a big stack of buffalo wing bones. He's just gorging on the buffalo wings. Deadpool comes up to Weasel, and Weasel's also kind of having a conversation with Colossus. Deadpool comes up to Weasel. "Weasel, what the fuck are you doing here, man?" Weasel's just like, Well, what else, man? I really like their buffalo wings. What can I say? A man's got to eat. And then he realizes, wait, this is a strip club? I just thought I wandered into an overly erotic Hooters. And keep in mind, Weasel, basically he's being portrayed by Deadpool in this Christmas special as more of an idiot than he actually is. So I just kind of want to keep that in mind. So basically the gag is that Weasel just wandered in, started ordering chicken wings, didn't even realize he was in a strip club. He's so preoccupied by the chicken wings that he did not pay attention to everything else that was on display. Anyway, so Weasel, he's like, hey, Deadpool, are you going on some sort of Christmas adventure? You know, man, mind if I come along? I mean, you know, last time when Vanessa was kidnapped and everything, I really wanted to go and help you out, man. But, you know, you kind of shafted me there. I just ended up getting freaky with Blind Owl. And then Deadpool's like, Weasel, are you kidding me? We just bumped into you. We're not taking you on some holly jolly fucking Christmas adventure, Weasel. This is serious. You know what? I don't even want these two here, but whoever wrote this thing wanted them here, so they're here, and I'm not happy about it. All right, man. All right. Chill. I'll just get back to my chicken wings. Yeah, good. Go have a blind Christmas. Go have a white Christmas with Blind Owl, Weasel. Go have a white Christmas with her. Trust me, she'd love the company. Okay, anyways. Cut to the exterior of O Tower. Now, we have a giant neon O on the tower, and then we have a giant black censorship bar covering up the rest of the name. Deadpool points this out. He's like, what the fuck, you guys? Do you see that giant black box in the sky? Colossus is like, yes, Deadpool, it is called censorship. I'm not familiar with it because in Russia all we have is communism, but I have heard of these American customs. Well, fuck, man, it's ruining the exterior shot. Okay, so they burst into the front door of the mansion. They're looking for Mr. O. Meanwhile, the man himself shows up. The man of the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Willem Dafoe playing Mr. O. That's right. We have Willem Dafoe back. He is very much in kind of the Green Goblin attire, like kind of like the bathrobe and everything, but he's Mr. O. Not.
You think they gave him the hair to differentiate him from the other Spider-Man movies? They gave him the hair finally.
All right, fair enough. Okay, and Mr. O is having his own Christmas Carol style Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future. Dragon, I want you to take a guess. Who did I cast as Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, Future?
I don't even want to wager a guess, Diggy. You.
Okay, Ghost of Christmas Past is James Franco.
In character or just randomly James Franco?
Just randomly James Franco. It's just James Franco hanging out. Ghost of Christmas Present is Dane DeHaan.
God.
Just hanging out. And Ghost of Christmas Future in like a robe and kind of like, you know, like a dark robe is Chris Cooper.
God. So 2 Harrys and a Norman.
2 Harrys and a Norman.
Sounds like a good band, doesn't it?
Right. So they're just like kind of like, and like basically like James Franco is like, hey man, remember that Christmas when you were 5 years old and you got that set of Hot Wheels you always wanted? Wasn't that cool? And so
just remind me, so Norman's getting the treatment here?
Yes. Norman, Mr. O, not Norman, Mr. O.
Right.
Is getting the treatment. And then Dane DeHaan's like, yeah, but Mr. O, remember your fiance just broke your heart. So, yeah, there's that kind of shitty Christmas. Yeah. And then Chris Cooper's like, son, you don't even want to know what happens in the Christmas future. You don't even want to know. But it involves plastic bags blowing in the wind. That's all I can tell you.
God.
Kind of an American Beauty reference.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so then Deadpool bursts in and he's like, did anybody smoke out of the same pipe that I've been smoking out of? Because what the fuck is going on? And then Colossus is just like, no, I don't smoke, Deadpool. Drugs are bad. And then Negasonic Teenage Warhead is like, not out of your pipe, bro. Definitely not out of your pipe. Okay. And then Deadpool's like, but you are seeing this shit, right? And then Franco comes up. Franco's kind of like the spokesperson for the Ghost, and he's super apologetic and humble about the whole thing. He's like, oh, shoot. You know what, guys? Okay, we have a cranky old man here. He's probably upset. He's probably lonely. I didn't realize he was going to have visitors on Christmas Eve. I'm so sorry. If I would have known he would have had visitors on Christmas Eve, we wouldn't have had to do this. Because you see, the whole Ghost Christmas past, present, future thing, it only works if the guy is miserable, curmudgeonly, and lonely. But no, if he has visitors on Christmas Eve, I'm so sorry. Mr. O, I just want to offer my condolences on wasting your time. It seems like you have plenty of friends on Christmas. Have a wonderful evening, sir. Come on, guys. And then Chris Cooper's kind of like, yeah, we wasted our night. Yeah, thanks a lot, Mr. O. Yeah. So James Franco, very apologetic about wasting everyone's time. Just like, oh, shoot, let me just see myself out. Okay, so about to get to the end of my act 2 here. Like I said, my acts are all very quick. Deadpool's like, so you're Mr. Bleep. We have a censorship. We have like a South Park style bleep. And then Deadpool's very caught off guard by this. He's like, wait. You can't say bleep.
Can't say Mr. Muhammad.
I mean, seriously, we're on fucking Netflix. I can say fuck all I want. Watch. Fuck, fuckity, fuck. But I can't say bleep. Whatever. He pulls out a gun, points it directly at Mr. O's head. Say your prayers, Mr. O. And then, suddenly, a time warp appears, and out comes goddamn Keira Knightley as Cable. Making her grand entrance. Keira Knightley as Cable says, Deadpool, wait! I come from 10 minutes in the future, and I have a message for you. God. Fucking end of Act 2. I know mine is completely off the rails. I totally realize that. Okay, go on. Act 2.
All right, Act 2. So, Deadpool, at the beginning of Act 2, Deadpool's greeted by Dupinder in his first appearance in the special. Deadpool's got a big Santa-like bag. The idea now he's bought his gifts, now he's going to play Santa.
Okay.
Basically, he's going Deadpool's whole thing, this thing is, Deadpool likes Christmas. He spreads some Christmas cheer, but without kind of the usual kind of holiday filter. So he's going to now. So, why the fancy red suit? With the fancy red suit and the large bag, Mr. Poole? Well, Dupinder, again, calling back the line, I'm going after people on my nice list.
Nice. I like that.
It's Christmas Day, and I'm going after people on my nice list.
Okay.
So, also, it's like mentioned here again. This is the thing. Basically, I didn't like put this one down in concrete. The idea, like, Deadpool quickly referenced, like, Dupinder is kind of worried for it. What happened with Bantu? Says, well, basically saying everything worked out. I don't know how. Just again, this is again out of continuity thing with again. Deadpool explained it himself earlier in the thing. It's out of continuity. So what? I bet you Dupinder is going to be in prison in the next one. It's going to
I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up at all. Yeah.
I just wonder if Deadpool's going to break him out or give him a good lawyer or something. I'm just wondering.
Better Call Saul crossover. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so basically, it's like a quick reference of like whatever. Then basically, Dupinder would say like, "Oh, everything worked out with either with him and with Bandu, but also with him and Geeta and or another girl. So either things worked out with Geeta or with another girl. So the point is, things worked out for Dupinder. And there'd be like a really kind of fun on the nose lines as there were no legal ramifications."
Okay.
Something addressing it, and then we can move on. So basically, this next sequence is, Dupinder is kind of driving Deadpool to his gift spots here. We go. First of all, we see the nice list. The nice list has a lot of great in-jokes. Now, I'm not saying that we see everyone on this list. Again, there's some rights issues gags in here. But also, it's like a lot of fun little nods here. And whatever Deadpool writers and artists would be willing to appear, by all means, let them appear briefly in the sequence. Basically, you see like Joe Kelly, Fabian Vicenzi, Rob Liefeld, which we know we can get Rob Liefeld because we saw him in the first Deadpool movie, and the guy loves Deadpool more than me. What was that telling you? So I mean, seriously, listen to the commentary. I thought I was bad with the I love this part. I mean, Rob Liefeld. Oh my god, it's like it's me on steroids with that. Anyway, so also like Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, again, the writers of the Deadpool movie, Tim Miller, Ryan Reynolds. It's be funny. Anyway, so in this sequence, I'm sure we're getting at least Ryan Reynolds, Tim Miller, and a few here and there. And like Ryan Reynolds, just that we see a montage set to this music right here. I saw Mommy do the mambo, which is a little bit of kind of it's an unconventional one for Deadpool. Seems right up his alley.
I saw Mommy do the mambo with you know who. I saw Mommy do the mambo with you know who. All around the Christmas tree. In my slippers I come down the stairs to buy two. I saw Mommy do the mambo with you know who.
So you get the point, right? It's kind of a saucy kind of, it's a little bit of a, a vaguely Hispanic thing going on there. A little bit of like, I'm thinking like chimichangas. I'm thinking kind of Deadpool's attachment to that sort of thing. Also, the song, it doesn't mention Santa Claus just with you know who, we know who. It's Deadpool. That's kind of the logic behind that song, Point is, as that goes on, here's what we see. We see a bunch of like quick gift gags, and pretty much like on the list we see a bug guy who stole my look and shtick. We see like a Spider-Man off in the distance. Again, not called Spider-Man, off in the distance. It's from a distance. He's in the red. There's no webbing. If you want to be technical, and call just bug guy. Deadpool like launches he pulls out what seems to be like a large rifle. It basically shoots a t-shirt cannon, and it lands. And it's a t-shirt that again they're not webbed, but basically kind of the red and blue arms open up. It says I heart Deadpool.
Oh god.
We see the next one is Shrek on steroids on the list, and then we see just a giant green hand with holding a giant stress ball. Giant stress ball. We see one has Frankie with like a heart-shaped skull, which basically a cable-sized gun is given to him along with white boots and white gloves. The Punisher.
Okay.
You give him like the classic look along with just a giant gun. We see N and M, which is short for Nelson and Murdoch. And they get Better Call Saul Season 1 in Blu-ray. And it's a subtle gag there.
God.
The subtle gag is it's in Blu-ray of like the highest quality, and Matt Murdock wouldn't be able to see it.
Right.
Also, we see quickly we see Stan Lee. Stan Lee gets something really nice. Like I think it's just like I couldn't really think of anything to get Stan Lee. My main thing is like maybe it's like old silver pair. It says Stan, look at the camera. Stan looks at the camera and says Excelsior.
Okay.
It's the only thing I come up with. Point is, so Stanley gets a little something. He'd be the last gift, but also in the midst of this montage to that music, we'd see last thing before we get to like a nice little bit there is Deadpool and Dupinder sharing some chimichangas and tacos.
Oh god.
It's like along the way we see quickly in the montage like Deadpool he like walked out at a stop and he got got some chimichangas, get some Mexican food. He got in there. He gave some to Dupinder up in the. I guess Deadpool's up in front there. There's sharing some Mexican food. He's got a chimichanga. Dupinder's got a taco of some kind. It's pleasant. I thought it'd be really nice. Those two guys, they struck up a bond.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, Tiki, it's so nice. Just every time I think about Dupinder, I keep thinking about Ryan Reynolds' stories that he's modeled after a friend he had that tragically got killed. He was struck by lightning.
Right.
As a kid. So it was kind of like a neat little homage, like these two would be good friends. At least they'd be decent friends. Anyway, so then we have a scene where after all of that montage, which, I think, what do you think? Any fun coming in from that montage?
Yeah, I like it.
We got Deadpool visiting the X-Mansion. Colossus, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer parody style, is asking Deadpool, I need your help on a mission. And basically, Deadpool we see Negasonic Teenage Warhead's also kind of behind him. And basically, Deadpool, and really, it's kind of a subtly sweet thing for Deadpool. At the same time, it's also like a real kind of obvious thing. Basically, Colossus, what's the roster you're working with on this mission? It says, well, we have Cyclops, Negasonic, Storm. I think you got it covered. Again, it's given Negasonic. Believe me, you got to cover with her alone. Come on, just giving Negasonic some props, like she's not too cool for Deadpool. That's sort of a really nice little cutesy bit. And Deadpool says, I just came by to drop off some gifts for everybody. Gives a Colossus metal polish. Gives the Negasonic Teenage Warhead a CD player. And gives him a pooper scooper. Who's that for? It's for Beast. Tell him to stay off my lawn. Anyways, so after that we have and last little bit in the sequence. I don't know where this be. I think it's just going to end this sequence, and then we're going to get to the next scene. Is a nice little bit. I'm so in love with this bit. Tiki said after making the rounds and everything, he's now getting out. Before he gets out, he gives Deepinder $5,000. And Deepinder saying crisp high five says for you. Gives him 5,000. Says, oh no, I can't take that. And says, come on, believe me, I owe you for it. And maybe next Christmas I'll be a little more generous. What do you say? Says, okay. It's just like a little sweet bit of like Deepinder doesn't even want Deadpool's money. He offers it because he does have to make a living. And I originally was going to make it 50,000, but then Deepinder might retire, so I can't have that happen.
Right.
I know he might retire, so it has to be like a reasonable amount. 5,000 I think is a decent amount.
Okay.
So, because again, he wants him still to be a cab driver. So let's see. So, a little sweet bit with Deepinder I really liked. Meanwhile, let's see. So, Wade gets a call from Weasel about a job to kill a very Grinch-like businessman who basically sued a foster home with for the kids. They're like vaguely denting his car, I think it's like a really kind of down on its luck foster home, as described on the phone. Is that they dented his car, and this really money-hungry lawyer around the holidays basically sued the crap out of him, and basically now they got nothing for Christmas. And Deadpool says, you know what, I'm going to do this pro bono and give the money to those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I got Deadpool is so because Deadpool's in the season. Per Deadpool's question, pro bono, like he did earlier with Orflowski and with the whole pizza thing at the beginning of the movie. So he does have a soft spot. He's got some hard spots too. That didn't come out. Anyway, so Deadpool arrives. He discovers it's a setup. Because basically a bunch of a tactical team is now basically it's like the one little Weasley executive, like, oh god, what are you doing here? And they see he's like a bead of sweat comes down the guy's face. Deadpool kind of notices something's off. SWAT team enters. A tactical team, no police affiliations. Tactical teams enters. They try to kill Deadpool. They try to trank him and take him down. And trank him, very key word in that. Try to trank him a few bullets because he's going to heal from it, so they can shoot him a little bit. Anyway, so Deadpool quickly kills those guys. Quickly kills all of those guys. He's about to interrogate our little sleazeball Grinch guy. But then pretty much the only character I could clear without really kind of stepping too much on Deadpool 2 toes.
Okay.
Trapster attacks. And you can imagine what jokes were to follow. I knew it was a trap.
Oh God.
In reference to that, there is a Star Wars theme to this whole special.
Of course.
Mentioned basically he's mocking the guy because Tiki, I don't know if you know this, the Trapster is one of the most ridiculous villains in the Marvel universe. The Trapster, he shoots glue. On a hoverboard. He shoots glue on a hoverboard. Essentially. The guy is like, I think he was a member of the Frightful Four or something. He was a Fantastic Four villain, I believe, and hence the why we could use him. Mm-hmm. Basically, he's going around there. He's trying to shoot at Deadpool, and Deadpool at one point he gets all gunked up. And he's probably making a lot of snowballing jokes, perhaps.
Oh God.
A lot of aftermath, a lot of jokes about sticky stuff. Anyway, so then Deadpool at some point he basically frees himself using a fire hose, inching his way over to a fire hose to break up all the gunk, and he defeats the Trapster, and he makes some puns about being trapped. Also, basically, what he does is he undoes himself with a fire hose along with a lot of grenades he activates on his own belly, weakens it, but not enough to defeat the Trapster. He basically allows himself to blow up a lot, which also blows up the Trapster a little bit. Like he's like against the plexiglass. The one guy's dead. The Grinch guy died in all the grenade fire. So Deadpool about to interrogate the other guy. Well, he's dead, but now he's got the Trapster. Basically, what he does is he undoes the Trapster's shirt. He uses the gun. He basically 40-year-old virgin interrogates him. Basically rips off the hair on his chest, like, he's cursing like the 40-year-old virgin, all that stuff. Basically interrogating him until he gets the name from him. Like, who said? Okay, Kevin. Deadpool's all calm and like enjoying the heck out of this. Saying, okay, who do you love? Deadpool. Okay, now tell me who sent you, who's your boss, who's trying to kill me or capture me. Dr. Killebrew. Dr. Killebrew. Dr. Killebrew, I don't know if you remember me bringing this up to you back in the Deadpool movie. He is the guy who is behind Francis didn't do the process to him originally. It was Dr. Kilbrew. And they were going to have him in the movies to quickly go through this. The point is, Dr. Kilbrew was deleted from the movie. It was a hard thing for them to delete, but they deleted it. And there was a scene where Kilbrew was going to be revealed to be, he's still out in the open. He's the guy who actually runs the facility. He's the guy that taught, he performed the thing. He made Francis, nerve endings dead.
Right.
Taught him the process that turned Deadpool into Deadpool. And they were worried that might confuse audiences. I had Deadpool kind of spell out what that is to the blind owl and weasel in just a sec. The point is, Deadpool is this. Oh man, that's really familiar. Why is that name familiar? And then we see Deadpool back at the blind owl's place. He's searching Spaceball style. He basically goes into his DVD and VHS kind of chest here. He's looking through them, very much homage to the Spaceballs. We see a bunch of VHS and DVDs of X-Men Origins. X-Men Origins label. It's a tape labeled X-Men Origins Blackmail. We see the holiday special, which is, by the way, and this was supposed to be referenced earlier with Vanessa. He says, I'm very prideful of that Star Wars holiday special because I got signed by George Lucas. I held a gun to his head, made sure he signed it and didn't destroy it.
Right.
Anyway, so basically a whole bunch of movies. Also, Spaceballs is there. Mallrats is there. A bunch of little movies. So Deadpool, then he pops in a VHS tape just to show folks that don't know it's not on the actual DVD. This is in the script, so it's not a deleted scene on the DVD. So basically puts in a VHS tape because I'm so jealous. San Diego Comic-Con gave away signed copies of the VHS tape Blu-ray cover. Yeah, basically they put the Blu-rays into a VHS tape thing. It looked awesome. That's my little barb at that. So basically, Deadpool puts it in there. He fast forwards, kind of Emperor's New Groove style. Basically, fast forwards to the Kilbrew parts that were in the script. Basically, so again, that's kind of like fill in the blanks. It's like Kilbrew, while Deadpool's like a little out of it on the table, Kilbrew put his hand on his head. Then at the end, Kilbrew got away, so Deadpool got to see it. It's such a fourth wall meta Spaceballs gag.
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
So this is how Deadpool vaguely remembers him because
honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, that is very meta of you and clever, but I feel like 5% of the people out watching it will actually get it.
Well, I mean, you mean we even get the meta-ness or get the Spaceballs?
Not get the Spaceballs, just get the meta-ness of the whole thing and get that Deadpool is watching his own deleted scene and whatnot.
Yeah, well, I mean, the point is he's watching a movie, people will kind of think, kind of Andy Kaufman, so they would think, oh my god, did I miss? I gotta watch the movie again.
Okay, fair enough.
The point is, it's it just works for the story, and people put the pieces together later on. It doesn't really, it's like a little thing. The point is, Deadpool, he watches the film, so basically he remembers being quickly greeted mysteriously by Kilbrew. Again, this is all deleted from the movie, and again, whether they're going to explore this in the next one or not, I don't know, because it sounds like they just might delete it for simplicity's sake, which is fine. Which again, that was my other kind of catch-all with the whole out of continuity thing. So again, it's a little Kilbrew story, and we'll see where that goes later on. I'll explain the last bit of Kilbrew later on. Point is, Kilbrew, a guy that actually created Deadpool. Deadpool now knows this. Sees a little cameo of Kilbrew on the tape. He exposits to Blind Owl, the audience, and Weasel, who were in the apartment. It's basically because Weasel wants to know, oh my god, I almost sent my friend to get killed. What happened?
So you have your Weasel basically just kind of on the sidelines too.
Yeah, but then Weasel has a few gags. Again, he just serves his point. Point is, basically, this is a way of explaining to the audience. That was my kind of way of talking to the Deadpool writer, saying, guys, people could have bought it. I don't think it's that hard a concept to grasp. Is it, Tiki, that, there's a guy who's in charge of Francis?
I'm honestly surprised that it wasn't explored in the movie.
Because the movie was going to end on a cliffhanger of or maybe the post-credits scene or something of Kilbrew got away.
Well, not the post-credit scene, because, my god, the post-credit scene was fucking perfect.
I'm saying in the script, they didn't have the post-credit scenes. That would have been a ending they would have had, whether it was going to be the actual thing or something. A mid-credit scene. They could have had as a mid-credit scene if they wanted to. The point is, Deadpool's kind of exposits that to them, just the simplicity sake, says Kilbrew made Ajax mutant and taught him the process. He taught him science, which, again, just pretty much it. He was his assistant. Not hard to grasp, right? He just tells it's forth. He turns to the camera. Not hard to grasp, right? Mm-hmm. Taught him science. Okay, anyways, that's just all exposited. There's the ending of Act 2. He says, Al gives him some advice. I got really sparse with the notes here. So Al gives him some advice to, basically, why don't you let it go, Wade? You're living a pretty happy life. Let this guy out of your life. Just don't pursue him. And you just move on with Vanessa, which again is really sound advice. My theory is that Blind Al always gives the right advice. It's always the right word. Just go with what Al says.
Yeah.
Wade doesn't do it, or else we have no story. And Wade says, "Look at the advent counters," which it's a little Easter egg of the original plot in the movie, where the advent counters It took 5 years instead of 3 years like it does in the actual movie we have now. So the point is, there are all these advent calendars on Deadpool's wall. So basically he says, Al, look at those advent calendars. You know how long I was waiting to get my revenge on Francis? Now I find out there was this guy that took so much away from the guy and made me look like this.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he's telling Al, now I cannot. How in the world can I let this go? And again, Al's gonna be right in the end. Just the point is, Wade makes a compelling argument. There's like the last piece of the puzzle, and now he's kind of making himself a target. I gotta go after this guy. Weasel, really sweetly, he gives Wade his Christmas gift early, which is a special gun. It's like pinpoint custom accuracy. It really drives home the pain. Basically, imagine like the pain of like a shotgun, which fragments when it hits you, in like a really precise kind of handheld gun.
Mm-hmm.
Again, because the idea is Weasel makes and sells Deadpool's guns as he always has, and that's point is that's a setup for Act 3. Gives him a big old hug, and then Deadpool says the line, "It's time for a new Christmas Day plan."
Okay.
And that's the end of Act 2.
All right, so I've got to make this quick, but so basically, Keira Knightley comes in as Cable, of course, from 10 minutes in the future, and she's like, "Wait, Deadpool. You sent me from 10 minutes in the future to tell you that the man you're about to shoot isn't actually Mr. Beep. It's Mr. Oscorn." So it's O-Z Corn. Oscorn.
Oh, jeez.
And then the camera pans to Willem Dafoe. It's like, oh, yeah. If you want Mr. Beep, the tower is right over there. And then we see an exterior shot of the two towers. There's like an Oscorn tower and an Oscorp tower right next to each other. The giant black sensor bar is now over the Oscorp's tower, and we can see the Oscorn tower. And then Deadpool is very annoyed. He's like, well, how the fuck did we miss that? Nice going, cameraman. You ruined an entire establishing shot. Okay, so, and then we see, you're going to love this, Dragon. This is probably the thing I'm most surprised by. So we basically just get a hard cut of Deadpool, Colossus, and Negasonic Teenage Warhead bursting into the bedroom of the real Mr. Beep! And the camera turns around, and it's not just a cameo, BlueDragonFive. It's the cameo. It is Stan Lee as Norman Osborn.
Oh, God.
Surprise, motherfuckers!
Oh, jeez.
That's right! I'm not just a cameo anymore, am I now? I'm a major villain. After all these years, they kept me in the background. Oh, sure, Stan. Just be cute here and there. Just do your little funny bit. No. After all those years where they denied me J. Jonah Jameson, and now I want to make a point, the way that he says J. Jonah Jameson, it's Beep Jonah Beepson. So Beep Jonah James Beepson. But now it's all coming to me. Now I get to play the most iconic Marvel villain. Give it your best shot, Deadpool. And then Deadpool just pulls out his gun and just wastes him. Without any effort at all. Just fucking waste Stan Lee.
Well, can I tell you a gag I was contemplating?
Okay.
I was contemplating a gag in that montage where Deadpool's going on his mercenary missions. Of him having to kill Stan Lee, and then we see Stan lower his glasses, like glaring at him, like look of really, and then cut back to Deadpool all battered and bruised, and basically putting the car back. Just like waving Weasel off, like no, not that one. That one's too tough.
Okay, but you get the joke, right? It's like Stan Lee is finally playing like a major comic book villain, and then he just gets wasted immediately.
I'll tell you, I'm seeing a major missed opportunity with that. You're very close. You know what you should do?
What?
You should have had him be Dr. Doom, because that was the old gag. Is that when Dr. Doom took off the mask, it was Stan Lee under there, and you could have had him set Deadpool up with you and put him on.
Well, I already had Schwarzenegger as Doom, though.
I'm saying Stan Lee as Doom would have been awesome.
But still, we have Norman Osborn, and like I said, I just find it really funny how Stan Lee's like gloating about like how he's this major character now and this major force to be reckoned with, and then Deadpool, in classic Deadpool fashion, just pulls out a gun, just wastes him, just without any effort at all. Deadpool's like, well, that was fucking anticlimactic. Come on, cameo again now, motherfucker. And so, and then Colossus is like, Deadpool, we pinky squared. Well, yes, but you broke my pinky, Colossus, so I think we're even.
Okay, that's funny.
Okay. So now we cut back to, I'm sorry, the Doctor Doom country.
Latveria.
We cut back to Latveria. Doctor Doom is throwing a giant Christmas party for Deadpool and all his friends for thanks, and of course Deadpool gets paid handsomely as well. And so we have Blind Al and Weasel just getting freaky with each other in the background.
Oh, God.
I mean, you don't see anything explicit, but they're just kind of like, oh, you know. Stewart and McAvoy are still...
Are they at least drunk?
Yes, they're drunk. Well, okay, no, they're high on coke, Dragon. Come on. That was the whole... Deadpool explicitly said, go have a white Christmas with Blind Al. Okay, so Stewart and McAvoy are still playing chess. Willem Dafoe is there with all the ghosts. And then Willem Dafoe asks, like, hey, Deadpool, where's Dr. Doom? You know, you flew me out here, you know, and Deadpool's like, oh, well, you know, I appreciate you coming out here, Mr. Oscorn, because really, I felt bad about ruining your Christmas and almost killing you and all, so I just wanted to show you a good time and give you a free vacation. Yeah, Deadpool, I really appreciate it. But, you know, Dr. Doom, he can't come out because, you know, we can only afford one scene with him. You know, we can only afford one scene. It's all good. And then a very drunk on eggnog Stan Lee comes stammering out as a drunken party goer. He's like, Excelsior! And then Deadpool just looks at the camera. Motherfucker! You really can't kill that guy, can you? He's more immortal than I am. And then he sees Negasonic Teenage Warhead sitting at a corner texting to herself, and then Colossus comes up. Go talk to her, Deadpool. You know, she might have a tough exterior, but inside, I'm sure all she wants you to do is open up to her. And so Deadpool just comes down to have a heart-to-heart talk. All right, little kid, you know, I'm sick of this Scrooge business. Tell me, kid, what's up? Tragic Christmas, you know, your mom and dad not getting you the present you wanted. You know, what's up? Come on. Does it involve, a horrific backstory? What's your beef with Christmas? Negasonic Teenage Warhead looks up from her cell phone. I have no problem with Christmas. I wish I were with my family instead of babysitting your dumbass. I just don't like you. So basically, Negasonic Teenage Warhead is just a Scrooge that doesn't learn her lesson. And then Deadpool finishes his story. He puts down the book and he's like, and that's the moral of the story, people. Some people are just assholes. And then the camera pans around and it's revealed that Deadpool has been reading this story the whole time to 3 horrified-looking children. Just 3 horrified children. And then one of the kids just timidly asks, how did you get in our house? Well, how the fuck do you think the guy in the red suit got into a house? The chimney, of course. Duh. And then another kid's like, but we don't have a chimney. And then you see kind of like snow starting to fall into the house, and you see that Deadpool created, like, literally carved a hole in the ceiling. I'm not paying for that. Bye, kids. And then we hear a very familiar, gruff Hugh Jackman-y voice. Hold it right there, Bob. Hugh Jackman comes in of course, an ugly Christmas sweater. Deadpool's panic. He's like, Wolverine, since when do you have kids? I don't remember that being in continuity. This isn't in continuity, Bob. Jeez. So Wolverine just claws into Deadpool. Deadpool just gives like kind of like a screen painting kind of pose, like, oh! And then it kind of fades into a Christmas card. La 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 la. Mine is completely nonsensical and off the rails. What do you got?
All right, here's what I got. Okay, Act 3 is real simple.
Okay.
Well, it's real chaotic, but it's real simple. So, Act 3, Deadpool waits publicly. He's in the mall, where he does Christmas shopping earlier, so we've seen this location before. I think I accidentally kind of stole Kevin Smith's Mallrats 2 pitch of Die Hard in the Mall. By accident, I swear to God. I'm now realizing. Well, as Deadpool waits publicly at a mall, he's eating chimichangas at the food court. Remember, that's important where he got that chimichanga. Don't forget. He's in the mall and he has access to Mexican food.
Okay.
He's at the food court. He's eating really publicly. You see Kilbrew in the distance. Kind of spots him, and he instructs on a radio or a phone or something. He instructs his men to on a phone. I suppose it makes most sense. On his phone, he instructs his men to take him down. But right as they're about to, as they're in the process of doing so, the fire alarms are triggered. Weasel on the side doing all this, by the way. Weasel's on the side. He triggers the fire alarm, which evacuates everyone to again have people out of harm's way for the most part. People are leaving. Basically, pulled a little bit. I got that from Jessica Jones. Remember when she pulled the fire alarm, got everyone out of the apartments. So basically, pulling the fire alarm, and also Weasel after everyone's out, he puts it on lockdown mode to kind of lock everyone in the mall. Our bad guys, and basically our bad guys are stuck in the mall with Deadpool. All but Deadpool and the men leave. Then it's locked down, and then also before it's locked down, Santa ushers the kids off real quick. Okay, kids, get out of here real fast, get out. It's so again. Ushers him out fastly. It looks like also looks like the Santa Claus leaves too. The men descend on Deadpool. The SWAT guys, the armed force guys. They descend on Deadpool. But then before they can reach Deadpool, as they're descending down, they're like their arm, they're like about to fire. A rocket launcher interrupts them.
Oh God!
Rocket launcher interrupts. We hear a few Wilhelm screams because why not?
I like that philosophy.
Yep, the rocket launcher is then kind of thrown to the ground, and awesome reveal. Basically, a Santa coat is opened up. We see a gun is pulled out. It's not just anything. Basically, under the gun, you have a lot of room there because he's a fat Santa. Get it? It's Deadpool in a makeshift Santa costume, basically a big old coat and the hat and beard. Basically, removes the beard and he says, "Ho ho ho." And he pulls out a giant machine gun. I have a machine gun. It referenced the Die Hard. So that was a reference to Die Hard. I forgot the whole setting in the mall thing. That's what I forgot.
Right.
So, ho, ho, ho. I have a machine gun, which was also in a Deadpool comic, by the way, him referencing that.
Okay.
So, anyway, so then he goes to town, basically takes out all the guys with that big old machine gun. He's basically going to town, shooting a bunch of them. Because we know how good he is with guns. We saw what we do with 12 bullets for crying out loud. And again, this is pretty much making it. And again, also the idea of this Christmas special is to kind of make up for the lack of budget on the Deadpool movie. For this, the third act, they wanted a big action sequence like this in a mall-like setting, so I figured I'd give it to them.
Okay.
It was like a building of some kind, not a mall, but it felt like a mall when I was reading it. So
right.
Anyway, so basically, it wastes all the military guys, all the special forces guys. Basically like Francis's guys, but you can hire any of those guys all around.
Sure.
Villain, henchman logic. And so then Deadpool, it's revealed that the Deadpool that we saw eating the Mexican food, he runs past Santa Deadpools. Again, how can they have two devils in one place? He kind of unmasks himself and quickly, unmask himself and quickly it's Bob, because I love Bob. Got a little bit of Bob in there. There's a quick little moment of like Bob, because Bob's a cowardly guy. He's trained, but he's also very cowardly, especially in situations like this. He runs past Santa Pool and he unmasks. Thanks, Bob. No problem. He runs off.
That's great.
Little quick moment of thanks. Deadpool kills all the men. He threatens Kilbrew. Hey, Kilbrew, come out to play. And little references. Might as well give up now. Make it quick and painless. Not. Anyway, so then we see there are three guys reveal themselves in kind of trench coats and hats to make it all the more ridiculous. You kind of Ninja Turtles thing style. Sure. And those three men are the three deleted villains from the Deadpool movie, because I want to get them in there. Sluggo, Garrison Kane, and Wire.
Okay.
They were gonna instead of Angel Dust, there were gonna be three kind of muscles for the bad guy. It was gonna be Sluggo. Sluggo's the big hulking guy. He's really durable. Shoots a big old gun. Garrison Kane, he has like these robotic implants. He's like a rocket launcher and a flamethrower and metal arm, metal leg. Cybernetic guy. It's pretty much it. Wire, he has like a whole bunch of little metal wires that come out of his fingertips. You get the picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the three power sets. So that exposited. The fight begins. I'll give you the cliff notes of the fight here. Basically, like Garrison Kane's launching rockets at Deadpool. Santa costume's getting wear and tear along the way. Beard's lost completely at this point. A few rocket launches from like the shoulder thing of his arm. Wires throwing Deadpool outside, like throws him right through the glass a few times with his wiry fingertips. Throws Deadpool right out the window. Then Deadpool looks up. We don't see what he sees, but he says, like, a moment of inspiration, like, yes. And this I knew I was going to have from the get-go. I knew it was going to end with. Originally, I was going to do kind of like the slow-mo reveal like we had at the beginning of the Deadpool movie before I had the Peanuts idea. So it was going to open with like a freeze frame of this whole action scene. But, boys, Deadpool then drives Blues Brothers style, wrecking everything in sight. He drives a taco truck.
Oh, God. Of course.
I should also mention that Kilbrew, all the while, that kind of also led to this whole taco truck, is Kilbrew all the while he's trying to get out of there because, again, it's on lockdown. He basically hot wires one of those, those in the mall, they display those cars they give away for free in a raffle.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he hot wired one of those cars and he drove it right out of there, which is also motivating the taco truck move. So basically, Deadpool's now chasing Kilbrew in this taco truck. Also, as he's doing that, he's also dispatching with the three guys. And as this insanity, the sheer insanity of destruction, like Man of Steel meets Blues Brothers, essentially, being no innocence at risk here. We have this playing on the radio of the taco truck.
Oh, God.
Everywhere you go, take a look, find a table, listening to candy canes and silver lanes aglow.
You get the point.
I was kind of hoping for Feliz Navidad to be playing in the taco truck, but that works too.
The thing, Tiki, with that is like, personally, I don't know. I don't feel an attachment to Feliz Navidad, and I think it's because my grandmother hates that song. I think that's what.
Well, that's just personal bias.
I know. I'm just saying. I know. It's just. I know it's on me. I'm just saying. I don't know. I kind of wanted to. Feliz Navidad felt like the obvious move on Deadpool.
Fair enough.
I went for the whole Mambo thing earlier on, so that was kind of my.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was tempted to do the Feliz Navidad. I thought, you know what, Feliz Navidad gets enough attention. Let's not. And again, it's all personal bias. It was my pitch, so I didn't put it in there. Anyway, so, so as the action scene's going again, Deadpool and Taco Truck is wreaking havoc. Almost done, by the way. So he's wreaking havoc again. Taco Truck is a few action beats here. It's basically as Blues Brothers style causing damage. He's shooting as he's steering. A lot of great shots are going on here. He hits Sluggo with the truck. Bam! Big hulking guy, like right into the fountain. Crashes right into the fountain that Pearl likes.
Oh God. Nice
why
reference there.
Yep, so the taco truck, it's kind of hit like a pillar or something in doing that. It's basically hit the guy and it's crammed into a fountain, pinning him against it or something. It was a big impact, and then Deadpool's wires like grabbing him by the thing, and basically what he does as he's being like kind of thrown over wires, hit Deadpool with a katana with B or Arthur. Remember the katanas are called B and Arthur. He lobs a wire's head off. He slices his head off. Like mid lift, like as he's lifting him over his head in a cool move, like heads off. Deadpool lands like on his hands on the ground. He had a really cool little shot there as his wires head just like tumbling on the ground. Let's see. He also picks up wires. Basically, he uses Wire's hands. He also cuts off his hands. He basically uses the wires to tie up Garrison Kane and basically snare him in a little trap for a moment. He grabs Wire's phone. That's important. It's kind of a Taken 2 reference. I'll explain what happens. He has Wire's phone, which remember, Kilber's calling his guys on his phone. Mm-hmm. Garrison Kane, then he breaks free of Wire's things. Wire's things are like metal things, so pretty hard to break through. So Garrison Kane breaks free of the things about the flamethrower gets activated. He's about to light Deadpool ablaze, and then Deadpool's with the other katana with Arthur. Not with B, but with Arthur. With Arthur, he cuts off a bunch of Garrison Kane's robotic and a few real limbs. He basically makes him a torso, like Alex Murphy from RoboCop. And he slices the crap out of Garrison Kane, who is alive, by the way. I want to make that clear because I hate the idea of killing off Garrison Kane. He's the coolest out of these guys. Slices him to pieces. Sluggo charges at him because Sluggo's alive, but he's really beaten because the guy's almost he's very durable. Anyway, so as Deadpool gets some distance, basically the taco truck's right in the middle of everything. Garrison Kane's close to him, and then Sluggo's charging at him. Deadpool's sad, a little sniff, well, easy come, easy go. Basically, he shoots the taco truck into an explosion. Just that takes Sluggo out. So Sluggo's either charred and or dead. This big old explosion after he was hit with the taco truck. Hit the gas tank, like boom, explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so after that, all that craziness. Let's see. So again, Killbrew, he eventually, and while Deadpool's fighting these guys, Deadpool then kind of tracks Killbrew. He goes real simple. He just kind of walks outside. He follows Killbrew had to drive through a wall of the lockdown mall and basically just follows the tire treads. And it's snowing. It's still been snowing outside. So he just kind of follows the tracks in the snow. He sees, again, it's like kind of an investigative thing, I guess. Just kind of happened that way. He sees the car was crashed into a tree because, there's like a little forest behind the mall,
Mm-hmm.
Little forest behind the mall in the snow, really cool setting in white with a few trees that are in there. Not Force Awakens-y, but it's daytime. Walks out there. He sees the crash car, which Killbrew was probably limping, maybe a few blood drops also leading the way. No, actually no blood. Just he sees his footprints. Deadpool then calls Killbrew on the phone to kind of take into reference where he's talking to him, and this is there's the heart of Deadpool. T is a big thing because in the comics, T is an important thing. Deadpool always hated Killbrew. He never killed him, but he always hated him, and usually someone was there to talk him out of killing him.
Right.
And the idea is he hated Killbrew because, again, it wasn't Ajax was just the assistant in the comics. He hated the man that did this to him. And Killbrew wasn't exactly a monster. He just, he felt remorseful for what he did to Deadpool. That's what I'm hitting at here, this whole scene here. So he's calling him Deadpool very seriously, no jokes. He's really seriously saying, he's really scarily kind of threatening Killbrew. And this is scary for us, and we love Deadpool. It's really genuinely scared about what Deadpool's doing.
Okay, I like that.
See, Killbrew, when I find you, I'm going to kill you slowly. Just really bone-chilling Deadpool stuff. He's saying, I'm going to kill you, no laughs. I'm going to make you suffer. I have a gun here built for the job. Then he sees Killbrew in the distance. He shoots. Killbrew's trying to hide for dear life. He's genuinely terrified out of his gore because he's just a scientist. He's not a fighter or anything. Shoots Killbrew in the leg. And again, it's a big impact. Basically, a lot of impacts. So his leg is in tremendous pain and bleeding. Which Deadpool then follows the blood trail as Killbrew tries to get away, shoots him in the shoulder, and then as he's down already, so at the point Killbrew's on the ground, he's helpless. Deadpool shoots him in the shoulder. Killbrew explains right before Deadpool puts it to his head, and last words. Killbrew explains. Killbrew genuinely explains. He does regret his actions. The Weapon X program, at least the workshop Weapon X program. It started out as a program to help people, but he became. He's not blaming anyone. It's all on Killbrew. He says, but I became corrupted by power of playing God. Became corrupted by the power of playing God. I didn't see subjects as human. I just saw them as experiments. And I ruined your life. Well, then why did you try to kill me? It says, to protect myself from you after you killed Francis. What else am I supposed to do? I still want to try to live. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so then Killbrew says, well, he's prepared to face the music. Says, well, I deserve this. Go on. And Deadpool kind of quickly says, yeah, I remember. I got this lame speech from Colossus, from a big metal silver bald guy named Colossus. Some BS about 4 or 5 moments, all that crap. And because
4 or 5 moments, Deadpool.
Yes, and basically, this is kind of because you got to wonder. Deadpool has to call himself on this scene for what he's about to do because it would seem completely counterintuitive to what he did at the end of the first movie. So basically, Deadpool's saying he sees Killbrew's not a monster. He sees really kind of the pathetic guy who's remorseful for his action. Basically, what he does is he gives him a season pass, and this is actually how it goes in the comics. When he does spare him, he usually says this line following this. He says, "Okay, look, if you screw up or you come after me again." Basically, so he gives him a pass, but don't seek me. If I see you again, I will try to kill you. Basically, that sort of thing. That's always how it is in the comics. So he always threatens to kill him if he sees him because he hates this guy with every bone in his body. And the little seasonal add to that is like, well, if you screw up or come after me, screw up or you come after me again, I'm gonna stick a tree up your butt. Stick a tree up there and light you with fireworks. And believe me, I've stuck trees up other guys. Other guys before, and again, we've already seen. So, and believe me, you don't want to see what that looks like. Anyway, so Killbrew, he's terrified, but again, it's kind of a meaningful when Deadpool walks off. Again, Deadpool is spared a man, showing Deadpool's not all bad, again, showing you. Give him a seasonal pass. We're at the party scene. This is kind of our last kind of frame scene of the whole thing. We see just a few quick little kind of enders here. Weasel and Deadpool have a really good moment. Unfortunately, I didn't really kind of craft the dialogue for these moments. The point is, like, Weasel and Deadpool, they have a moment of thanks. Pretty much Deadpool kind of a little thank you tour around the Christmas party. Again, the small Christmas party. Mm-hmm. Oh, but also I should mention earlier on with the payment to Dupinder, he also invited him to the Christmas party. So Dupinder's invited to the Christmas party. Yeah, I love that guy. So they're all there in Deadpool's crappy apartment, decked out for Christmas properly. You have a really awesome Deadpool-looking tree with unicorns and Deadpool or instrument ornaments and everything on there.
Nice.
Because again, Deadpool. If you notice, if you ever freeze frame Deadpool's apartment, there are tons of little Deadpool action figures and little plushies all around that place. So. Point is, Weasel and Deadpool have a genuine moment of thanks. So thanks for being there for him. Again, because he wasn't there for him in the first movie. It's kind of funny, but Weasel's always there for him. Deadpool gets. Let's see. So Deadpool thanks Blind Al, and he says, "Oh well, here's what I got you for Christmas. You did such a nice job decorating. You know, me and Weasel did most of the work. After you screwed up miserably, I still have a soft spot for you. Here's your gift. I went crueler than you did, Tiki. He gave her a snow globe. It's a snow globe. Again, a snow globe for a blind person, and an IKEA gift card.
Oh God."
For $100.
No, you see, I gave her the classy present. All right, I gave the woman something that she's genuinely.
Let me finish.
Like, all right,
let me finish.
Okay.
Deadpool gave her a snow globe and an IKEA gift card for $100, and he whispers to the Weasel, "The snow globe's filled with cocaine."
Oh God! Of course.
So Blind Al's just like saying thanks. She has no idea. She's like, it's the dumbest thing. You give him the cruelest gifts you can give a blind person.
Just break that fucker open, man.
No,
just slam it on the ground.
No, she doesn't know. And again, I'm
she
saying,
doesn't know. Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't. It's like he whispers to Weasel. So hey, don't tell her. Snow globe's filled with
That's great.
Okay, so let's see. So then we kind of end on Deadpool and Vanessa. They exchange gifts, and Vanessa's gift to Deadpool is a Voltron on Blu-ray.
Nice.
Yeah, because he loves the old '80s. I believe I want to say '80s, but he points the old Voltron show, whichever the ring came from.
Yeah.
I'm not a Voltron guy, so I don't really know much about it. It's like, I knew that principally all the robots come in the form of guy. So that's his point. Is a really sweet thing where Deadpool and Vanessa are watching finally the Star Wars Holiday Special at the key scene. And let's just say they're watching as much of the scene as we can get in there. And also, it will include a little bit of the song. I guess you got mainly the song here, so it goes a little something like this. So whether we'd see this or ideally we'd see this along with hear this.
Okay.
It goes a little something like this. Let's play a little bit of this here.
All right. I will take a hit. We'll have one more round. This one's on the house.
How nice of her.
Tab for the Just one more round, friend. Let a homeward bound, friend. Don't forget me in your dreams. Just one more song, friend. And that's so long, friend. The nights get shorter, it seems. Just one more rhyme, friend. Yes, it's a crime, friend.
I think we get the point.
No, I think so. I genuinely appreciate you grabbing that sound clip out of nowhere.
Which again, the point is like they're in the scene with play, and Deadpool's actually getting emotionally choked up by it. That's the game. It's like he's so like Deadpool's actually. Again, by the way, I want to again just showing where they are in their relationship.
Beautiful. I want her to keep the bar so badly. Why can't she just keep the bar?
And again, just I want to show this too is like that. Just showing where they're in the relationship is a really nice little callback. Is that they're wearing the same the bad Christmas sweaters they were wearing when Wade got his cancer diagnosis, and he's all scarred up. And he's not wearing the mask. He's just it's Wade all scarred up. Just to show it. Again, we there's always a place where you got to question. Like we want to see the Deadpool mask, of course. It's the most iconic thing. The expressions read so beautifully, but at the same time, you have to show the guy underneath. And that's always the thing the Deadpool comics do. You get all these moments of Deadpool in his crappy apartment without the mask on, and with Vanessa, he would definitely do that. So she's comfortable with him without the mask. So point is, really sweet scene here. As he's watching it, he's getting choked up, and she's watching it. Like she's like probably like sitting on his lap on the chair, and watching it too. Real cutesy couple stuff. And basically, it's Deadpool would have a moment with her as like she can see he's getting emotionally choked up by basically him saying, in a way, just him thanking her for being the best So you're crying ways. Well, aside from the beauty of B. Arthur, I just want to say something. I just want to say that. Well, aside from this genuinely beautiful thing in front of us here, I just want to say, thanks for being the best thing. Thanks for being the best thing in my life, and basically also communicating. You're the reason I didn't kill Kilbrew, because as much as I hate that guy and hate how I look, I mean, it brought us to this level. You accept me for basically, again, not in so many direct words, but pretty much saying you're the best thing that happened to me, and I would go through all that for you, all that torture and all that stuff for you any day.
Oh,
really sweet. He also mentioned he also says, "Oh, by the way, I need to tell you what my Christmas gift is to you." And basically, the Christmas gift is a callback to the movie where it's. So listen, Vanessa, I've been thinking long and hard about what to get you for Christmas. Just the right thing. You know what it is? And basically mirroring the same scene, the proposal scene from Deadpool. Mirroring the proposal scene with the ring pop. It says, basically, he proposes anal for a Christmas gift, and we're finally doing anal.
Oh God.
Because remember, she wanted to do it in the butt. She did.
Oh man.
She wanted it. Now it's like it's seriously as again, we literally talked about a whole Christmas special about a fart. So I think you can give me a little.
Okay. Well,
my point is the anal gag is that it's a really meaningful gesture, because that was that right before he was. I'm serious though. Before he was stricken down with cancer, and that was like the thing. It was like a proposal met with that little anal joke. So he hasn't forgotten about that, saying, "Well, I'm finally gonna get you what you wanted."
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then they ended with they kiss by the snow. Snow is falling outside the window. Really nice. We see the awesome looking Deadpool Christmas tree, red lighting only. Red lighting only, green tree, and all the Deadpool stuff on there. It's like dark, kind of like a little homage to a Christmas story. And the idea is, as Deadpool's kind of reaching the end, he's finally okay with at least one Christmas trope. Done classically, done cleverly. And it's like, aside from the anal thing, kind of giving a little Deadpool spin on it. Just they kiss real in shadow by the snow as it's falling out the window. Beautiful shot, kind of like the Bob Newhart show we saw earlier.
Yeah.
And the end credits play. Actually, I'll save it for the post credits, and you go on.
Oh, geez, I already gave away my post-credit scene, so just go ahead.
You didn't even save your post. All right.
No, my post-credit scene is the Wolverine thing.
Okay, well, you could have mentioned. You got to differentiate them, Tiki. You didn't need to mention post-credit.
I'm sorry.
Well, what was your ending? Just recap what your specific ending was.
My specific ending was basically the whole Negasonic Teenage Warhead anti-Scrooge thing.
Okay, well, I mean, that ended with him talking to the kids, and wasn't that the post-credit?
No, the post-credit is everything, like, from the kids onward.
Oh, because just basically the end is your ending, and then post-credit scenes the talking to the kids. Okay,
exactly.
I got it.
You need to hurry the hell up with your post-credit scene, because I need to give some feedback before I'm not allowed to talk. So.
Anyway, so we have this song plays over the credits. We have Wham, Last Christmas, because they love Wham. Yeah, pretty much. You get a Last Christmas, all that stuff. Man, post credit scene's very simple, very straightforward, nothing special.
Cool.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, but anyway, the post credit scene's very simple. It's just after the Wham song plays, and probably is like it seems like the play really nice. Post credit scene is Deadpool in only a Santa hat and his full costume. He's sneaking up on a house. And now for the last stop. It's Christmas Eve probably. He's about to open a door, and before he can do that, he is impaled by 6 claws through the door, right into the. It has like a really nice gift too. It's like a really nice little box on top. He's like holding it in one hand, and pretty much like in the one hand he's holding the gift, the other hand he's like stabbed right into the stomach. Like he's almost pinned to the door, and we don't see him. We just hear him from the outside because he said he never put on the claws again. So it's not him with the claws. It's just he's stabbed through the door, and then he says, "Stop coming here, Bob. I'm not going to say it again."
I love how Wolverine is involved in like the last moment of both of our specials.
And then Deadpool just turns the camera, and again, it's like it's the most absurd. He turns to the camera and says, "Merry Christmas."
Okay.
And that's the ending.
All right. Yeah, I like yours a lot. I think you had a really good idea going with the emotional stuff. I really, really like the stuff where it's like Deadpool is so out of control that we as an audience are like, whoa, hold up a minute, Deadpool. That was really well executed. Lots of good humor towards the beginning, like really, really good fourth wall breaking gags all the way through. Really sweet stuff with Vanessa. The only minor quibble I have with it, Dragon, and this is just someone who's not like really big into Deadpool as you are, is I feel like one or two things there's a bit too much exposition in terms of like, hey, here's who this character is. And I understand what you're going for with it. I'm just kind of like, maybe it was just me listening to the pitch, and I don't know. It's like I said, maybe one or two things that might have been just a little bit too much of an in-joke to the point where like only about 5% of the audience would have gotten it. With that being said, that's a very minor quibble. I think yours was a very, very solid pitch.
Yeah. I
mean, and now just lob the Rotten Tomatoes my way. Come on. And not the fresh kind either.
Okay, well, look, here's what I liked elements of yours. I mean, the idea of, I think it's just kind of the idea of it being Deadpool's kind of from Deadpool's perspective, kind of Deadpool's warped perspective. I mean, I love your ending. Your ending's great. You know, the whole like, you know, him reading the story to the kids and everything. That was great.
And then Wolverine having kids out of continuity.
Well, I mean, he does have a kid in again. It doesn't matter. It's out of continuity. It's fine. But my point is,
does he have a kid in the Wolverine? I've not seen that.
No. It's not. No, not in the movies. I'm just saying in the comics.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. In the movie continuity, it's never implied that he has a kid or not. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, anyway.
My point is, I mean, I love the framing device of, okay, Deadpool's telling a story, and at the end, it's like, you know, we learn nothing, and they're just talking to random kids, like, how did you get in my house? And I don't know. I'll admit, I mean, I love Wolverine just showing up. Honestly, I prefer it was like Hugh Jackman being so intimidating that he actually has Wolverine claws. I would have preferred. But,
that would have been funny. I could sub that in. That's a good idea.
But that also, I do think the biggest, and you have some interesting elements. Again, I think there are some things that even for Deadpool, they just don't make coherent sense. If you want to go insane with Deadpool's perspective, that's one thing. I mean, the idea of like Colossus, I just think you need to set that up a little better. Like, this is Deadpool's work perspective. You got to play with that more, you know. And this the Mac, I still can't wrap my mind around the Xaviers. I mean, again, of like changing from time to time, like being whichever keeps changing from which Xavier, that I would have preferred. But the other thing, though, biggest thing, I just think it's such a missed opportunity to have just kind of random Schwarzenegger as Von Doom versus having Stan Lee be Von. That would have been such a great reveal of like.
I mean, you know, I think I really like the Stan Lee reveal that we do have. I really like the idea that Stan Lee's always wanted to play the supervillain.
And I'm saying you can still have that and also have it be a great in-joke of like he's been Dr. Doom in the comics, and you have him be the one that set Deadpool up on a false Osborn.
But I wanted to have the gag of like Stan. I was really set on the whole gag of Stan Lee is finally like playing a major villain, and then he gets shot by Deadpool immediately. I really wanted that gag in there. I really like that gag.
Just tell me this. Tell me this wouldn't have been cool. Deadpool shoots Doom in the face. The mask comes off. It's like, oh my god, who's that? Says,
but why would you shoot Doom in the face?
Well, because he gave him the wrong target. Again, saying, what if it was Doom setting them up?
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, I understand that Stan Lee was depicted as Doom in the comics. It would have been cool. I totally get you. For me personally, though, I was really in love with the whole idea of just Deadpool wasting Stan Lee as soon as he becomes a villain and he's gloating about it.
The only reason I'll accept Stan Lee's death is because you have him come back at the end. That's the only reason I'll accept that.
And I hope you like that. I hope you like the fact that, like, literally one scene later, there's another Stan Lee cameo.
Because I hate the idea of just kind of unceremoniously killing off Stan Lee. Again,
but like I said, Deadpool very much celebrates Stan Lee in the end. He's like, oh my god, that guy's more immortal than I am. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I mean, I think they have some good elements. I just think as you said yourself, your story is kind of weak sauce. But
I warned you, my friend. I warned you. Did you like Colossus? Did you like the dynamic with Colossus?
I mean, I think the card thing's kind of cute, but I think it should have been kind of like a smaller gag. I don't know. I think I'm saying I like certain stuff with the Colossus dynamic. I mean, I don't know. I like the elements. I don't want to just come down harsh. I'm saying I like the elements of it. It's just they could have wowed.
You like the whole like, drugs are bad, Deadpool. You like that line at least.
I mean, that's good. Yeah, sure. I mean, drugs
are bad,
basically
drugs.
Giving a PSA to Deadpool. That's good. It's.
And the whole pinky swear thing. You like that?
I love the pinky swear. The pinky swear thing is great. And again, I think pair that with like Stanley's Doctor Doom I wouldn't find. But again, that's just my own personal. For what it is.
Really quick, just because you were retrieving the B. Arthur clip when I was going through this, what do you think of the whole Deadpool interrupting the sex scene and kind of yelling at the parents like, hey, R-rated movie here, we're not going to show you the sex because I'm aware that stupid parents might have taken the kids to see this. But just so you know, there's a reason why we have a Red Band trailer. What do you think of that?
Well, I mean, I like that, but the problem is it's on Netflix.
I realize that, but then it could still just be like, hey, why are you showing this to your kid?
If you reference, no, the reason we're not showing this is because stupid parents can't get it through their heads that, hey, Deadpool R-rated.
Yeah, exactly. That's totally the point. Like, I know there's going to be stupid parents that are going to show their kids this, so I'm not going to show you the sex. Sorry, kids, parents, and adults, if you have a problem with this, blame the Stupid Parent Society of America.
Yeah. Again, I like elements of yours. Just I wish it kind of tied together. I wish you kind of just connected things. Really, if you connected things a little more, I think it would have been a lot stronger. It's like, again, like little things. That's all.
Okay, fair enough.
Again, it wasn't bad though. It wasn't bad. Just could have been more awesome.
Okay, folks. Okay, well, thanks for joining us, folks. That'll about do it for us.
Oh, wait, tropes.
Oh, you want to do tropes? We didn't really do
Real
tropes
quick.
on. We didn't really do tropes on the Super Academy one, so I just okay.
Oh, we did on Soul. I mean, just might as well just kind of even it out.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead.
Okay, real quick. Me, again, of course, I'm just like Charlie Brown Tree, basically a lot of references to the Christmas special and Christmas tropes inherently. So the "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" being thrown into the fire. Basically a gift-giving montage. Someone playing Santa, being Deadpool. He's also dressed up in the Santa costume when he's doing the whole mall attack. Just about Christmas shopping. Also kind of earning money around the holidays. I think that a lot of bad Christmas sweaters. And I think that decorating the tree. And that about.
I think bad Christmas sweaters was like a running thing with both.
Oh, and cocaine-filled snow globe.
Cocaine-filled snow. Oh, God. White Christmas. Okay, so let's see. For me, I also have
snowballing.
Oh God. Okay, so I have the traditional like sitting by the fire reading a Christmas story. Let's see. I have maybe kind of like foreign cultures celebrating Christmas with the Doctor Doom thing. I have giving gifts, like simple gifts. It's the thought that counts with Colossus's gift, maybe giving someone exactly what they want, like with Flying Dal's gift. I have Deadpool's mistletoe encounter with Vanessa. I have Stan Lee drunk on eggnog. I have Willem Dafoe and the Ghosts of Christmas Past, Present, and Future. Let's see.
I'm still proud about my Cable reference with the. You're not seeing Cable as the Ghost of Christmas Future because we haven't cast him yet.
No, that's fun. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention it. I'm sorry, this is like really last minute, but like during the whole Stan Lee encounter, Deadpool's like, "Hey, Cable, by the way, why didn't you go back to 10 minutes ago and tell my past self not to do this? Okay, all right, Deadpool." So. Just Cable there for basically no reason other than like, wait, you have the wrong O. Okay, but anyways, that's about Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, Future. Let's see. I mean, that's about it, really.
Reference It's a Wonderful Life, but also the idea of kind of Deadpool and somewhat of a father figure, and that Gilbert created him. So I mean, it's somewhat like that.
Okay. Right, so that's it.
Yep, that's it. So, Tiki, what do we do here? What are Deadpool specials really accomplish here?
Well, Deadpool specials, I mean, Deadpool in particular is all about just, Deadpool himself. He would love to just take Christmas special tropes and be like, what the fuck is up with this tropes? How can I fucking do something with these tropes and just examine them and look at them and really get down and dirty and nasty with these tropes? Because that's what we like to do here on Christmas in July.
Yes, but Tiki, tell me. What do we call this? What on earth do we call this magical fourth wall breaking practice? I mean, folks at home, listen, I'm talking directly to you right now. What do we call this process? Leave it in the comments. Tiki, tell me, what do we call it?
Putting the mistletoe underneath the microscope next time on Christmas in July. Fa la 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 la. Oh, Deadpool, I do not smoke. Drugs are bad.